Hell yeah, another episode of beating the shit out of your opponents with your fist. It's been a while since we've done one of those. Like, Hulk vs. Broly was the last one, unless you want to count Iron Fist vs. Ryu, but there's a lot of kicking in that one too, so it's been a while. But the difference is this time our combatants are ladies, and they're not rage monster. Okay, well, they're not monsters. We have a battle between Yang, the brawn of Team Rwby, and Garnet, the brawn of the Crystal Gems. Alright, let's start off with the way more attractive one, Yang. Yang is the older half-sister of Ruby Rose and a huntress in search of her biological mother. That's really all you need to know, but you're not here for backstories. No, you're here to see what makes her so great. Well, I'll tell you, starting with her powers. Yang has superhuman characteristics and can manipulate her ki to either enhance her strength or defense, and the more damage she takes and survives, I'll specify more about that in a second, the stronger she becomes. Now, what I mean is she still takes the damage. She still gets hurt from it, but she becomes stronger because of it. Think of like Lucario from Smash Brothers. And on top of all that, she can manipulate fire. Yang has some pretty badass techniques as well, but before we go into those, let's check out her signature weapons. So get this, they're gauntlets that shoot shotgun blasts out of them. Is that not the most badass thing of all time? But now that we've got that out of the way, let's cover her techniques. She has the Quake technique where she strikes the ground creating shockwaves. She also has the Sunburst attack where she launches up in the air with an uppercut, kind of like a Shoryuken, like we covered last time. Yang can use the Blast Wave where she punches her with enough force to create 3 shockwaves, each with more power than the last. So what can she do with all these techniques and powers, you may ask? Well, Yang has the strength to wipe out multiple city blocks, as she is comparable, if not stronger, than her sister Rwby. Yang is massively hypersonic, and possibly faster as she was able to keep up and fight with Mercury Black. And Yang can take hits from people who can destroy multiple city blocks, and is easily comparable to her sister Rwby. Yang is a highly skilled fighter who can go for ridiculous amounts of time with her outrageous stamina. Yang, despite her totally badass weapons and stunning good looks and amazing powers, does have her weaknesses. Yang is incredibly hot-headed and isn't very good against fighting against people who do a lot of kicks or dodges. And continual use of her aura can cause her to become weak or even pass out, and possibly even worse. So let's see if the Crystal Gem can beat Yang. Garnet is the fusion of Ruby and Sapphire and the current leader of the Crystal Gems. But you know what? She's a cartoon character. You don't really care too much about her backstory. So let's move past that really weird origin and move on to her weird-ass powers. She has superhuman physical characteristics. She can regenerate. She has immortality in the fact that her physical body can be destroyed, but it will come back not too long after if someone does not break her gem. She can shapeshift, manipulate her size. She can fuse with other gems to become more powerful, or unfuse to become Ruby and Sapphire. She can contain gems in bubbles, automatically adjust to different strengths of gravity. She does not need oxygen to survive. She has extreme pain tolerance. She's skilled with her gauntlets. She can manipulate light. She has immunity to extreme heat, extreme pressure, and electricity. She can manipulate electricity, and she has future sight, but we'll cover that in a minute. Garnet also has a few techniques up her sleeves to help her in a fight. Garnet can launch her gauntlets like rockets and even increase the size. She can also create shields out of them and punch them together to create sound waves that stun their enemies. Garnet can create weapons out of thin air and even see into the future to see all possible outcomes and their likeliness of happening, which makes her a pain to hit because she technically knows what you're going to do. But this doesn't always work. So she has all the possibilities of them happening, but those are just percentages, because it could say you're going to punch, and that's the most likely option, but then you could kick. So it's useful, but it's also not a guaranteed dodge. Garnet can also manipulate electricity for attacking and even boost forward with it like a rocket. So what has she accomplished with all these crazy powers? Garnet has large island levels of power, as she was able to beat the shit out of Jasper, who survived an explosion strong enough to smash a hole in the gem warship. And even early on in the series, she was capable of defeating a sentient island. Garnet has relativistic speeds, as she is shown to be faster than Pearl. Garnet can not only fight at the same level as Jasper, but she can tank hits from Jasper, giving her large island durability. Garnet has unlimited stamina as long as her gems go undamaged. Garnet is a battle tactician and has the power of two minds thinking to create the best plan of attack. However, Garnet, despite her seemingly limitless power, does have her weaknesses. Enough damage to her physical body can unfuse her and turn her into Ruby and Sapphire, or it can turn her into her vulnerable gem form that can be easily smashed. that can easily be destroyed. She can come back if the gem is not destroyed, and angering her enough can revert her to Ruby and Sapphire. However, this is not an easy thing to do. Garnet wears large weights on her head that slow her down and weaken her, but if she ever needs that extra boost in stats, she can remove the large weight, become even stronger and faster. Alright, let's see if Yang can defeat Garnet in a fight to the death. Yang is walking along a beach and she picks up a pink gem. Garnet rushes over and smashes the gem in hoping that the creature doesn't come back. Yang looks over at Garnet and punches towards her. Garnet dodges. Garnet then punches Yang in the stomach and starts to walk away. Yang rushes up and punches Garnet in the back of the head. Garnet stumbles forward and then turns around and runs up to punch Yang. Yang blocks the punches and then retaliates with a punch of her own towards Garnet's face. Garnet falls back, but Yang runs up and punches the ground, creating a shockwave, launching Garnet into the air. Yang jumps up to punch her in the face, but Garnet dodges out of the way and punches Yang. Yang flies back. Garnet runs over and uppercuts Yang into the air. Yang then launches back down, punching the ground, creating another shockwave, and then uses Garnet's current stun as an opportunity to run up and uppercut her. Garnet flies into the air as Yang follows up behind her, but Garnet grabs her and throws her to the ground, and then lands on top of her. Yang starts coughing up blood as she starts to stand back up. Yang notices a small hair fall from her head and land on the ground. She screams in a fit of rage as her hair starts to glow and a fiery aura forms around her. Her eyes turn from purple to red. She rushes at Garnet and repeatedly punches her, shooting shotgun shells into her with each blast. Garnet blocks most of the attacks and dodges a few, but does get hit multiple times. Garnet then grabs Yang by the collar and punches her in the face repeatedly and throws her into a nearby mountain. Yang gets back up and punches the ground one more time, creating a shockwave, but Garnet jumps up into the air and shoots back down, crushing Yang's head under her fist. Garnet then walks back towards the house to check on Pearl and Steven. Our winner is Garnet, and honestly this match was way too easy of a win for Garnet, and I'll go ahead and go stat by stat to show you why Garnet crushes Yang. Garnet takes the strength advantage with the ability to destroy large islands thanks to her being able to beat up Jasper in a fight, whereas Yang is only multi-city block level, and even if Yang could live long enough to get to the same strength as Garnet, which she couldn't due to the large strength gap, Garnet could just remove her weights and increase her strength even more, and Yang could not 100% last that long, especially if Garnet removed her weights. Speed again goes to Garnet, who is relativistic speeds, whereas Yang is only massively hypersonic, so Garnet could easily blitz Yang in a fight. Garnet also takes the durability edge, being able to take large island level strikes from Jasper, compared to Yang, who could only take multi-city block level attacks. Stamina intelligence goes to Garnet thanks to her gem biology and the fact that she has two brains to think and her future sight. And on top of all that, Garnet being a clever thinker and dodger would piss off Yang very easily, causing her to think less than usual in a fight. And one of Yang's biggest weaknesses is people who kick and dodge. I mean really, the only advantages Yang has in this battle is personality, attractiveness, and the unique ability to take damage and use it to power herself up. So our winner is Garnet. Next time on Combo Breaker. Alright, you know what? Actually, I have no clue. The next episode could be Michael Myers vs. Leatherface if Halloween comes before the next one I'm planning. If not, well then, I guess it'll be a surprise to you. But most likely, Michael Myers vs. Leatherface will be next. At the end of that video, you will see the next episode I'm planning.